Here for round 1. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The Jeskai Black I know and love. So, probably... I guess we can't fetch Black-Red. Because, well, we can fetch Black-Red if we fetch Island. Otherwise, we could go Prairie Stream, but then we don't have access to red mana right away. So I think that's the best way to do things, even though it means if we draw a Crackling Doom, we can't necessarily play it right away. Oftentimes, a lot of the decisions are going to be about fetching, at least early. And we have a Fiery Impulse against a Windswept Heath, so likely going to need that red mana. So if we draw a Crackling Doom or Mantis Rider, we can't play either on turn 3, but that's okay. We can probably do other stuff to kind of clear up the board a little bit. Sylvan Advocate, that's probably going to die. There's the Mantis Rider. I would assume my opponent has some sort of 4-mana spell in their deck, but we may not have the luxury of keeping up a Disdainful Stroke. We'll see. Like, if we could Rider on this turn on the play, that'd be cool. Because then we could hold Stroke next turn. So, I mean, I guess we just start off by looting with Jace and seeing what happens. And there's a Bloodstained Mire, which doesn't really help us. It could get us our second red source. Would we rather have basic Swamp or a Mountain? Basically comes down to Kalitas versus Chandra if we are going to discard one of these lands. And I think I would rather have access to Kalitas earlier, and then we can find the red mana if we find a Chandra later. So I think we can just discard the Bloodstained Mire and hold the Swamp. And then it might mean we can't actually deploy our Mantis Rider until we have 5 mana, but I think that's alright too. So, may Murderous Cut this Sylvan Advocate. Might also take a hit and reevaluate. Because we don't necessarily need to kill it right now. We're going to have a Mantis Rider that's going to brick wall it for a little bit at least. And they might play something like an Anafenza that we might want to Murderous Cut instead if they're playing Abzan. But since he has Windswept Heath, that's not going to happen. Okay, Nissa's a thing. Nissa is definitely a thing. We can kind of keep that under control with a Mantis Rider. So, that's basically what it's in there for. And now I'm kind of tempted to just Murderous Cut the Advocate now so we can't get Dromoka's commanded, although, I don't know. I feel like if they had a command, they probably couldn't play it on this turn. So it is still possible that they have it. Mystic Monastery, we can't play this turn, but we should just loot right now, I think. There's a Transgress the Mind, which may or may not be good. It's hard to say. I do think we should play Mantis Rider this turn. So we should probably hold on to the Transgress. And the next turn, they can play a 4-drop. We can Transgress them and hold Disdainful Stroke. So we'll do that. Red, white, blue. And we'll take some loyalty off Nissa. And then hopefully our opponent doesn't do anything too painful to us. We'll have the option of whether or not we want to flip Jace next turn, because we can always Transgress and then loot. Or if we want to keep the looter around, we can loot first and then Transgress. So, mana was a little awkward, but we made it work. Now we can cast Dig or Kalitas if we draw it, and if we find like a Painful Truce, we'll probably have enough resources to continue looting and play and make land drops. Opponent has a Silk Wrap. They kind of have a tough choice to make, but I think killing Mantis Rider is right to protect the Nissa and Lumbering Falls. So our opponent's on some weirdo Bant deck. And we want to flip this Jace or not. I wish I knew what my opponent's hand was before I decided whether or not I would flip to Jace this turn. Just kind of a tough one. But I think we should transgress before we loot, and I think flipping Jace this turn is fine. So another Nissa, Secure the Waste, and Reflector Mage. So Mage not really going to do a whole lot. Pretty glad that we're going to flip Jace this turn. So I think we just take out the backup Nissa, and then we can stroke the Secure and try and keep the Reflector Mages dead for as long as possible. And now we have second red mana and Chandra. So we have a play. We have a play and a plan. Although it is kind of awkward against Secure. We're going to have to do that dance for a turn, I think. But main deck Disdainful Stroke isn't exactly common. So it's possible they... Like, even if we draw land 6, we probably won't play Chandra, and then they'll probably cast Secure. Nope. I just drew up another Advocate. So now if we draw land 6, we can actually just Chandra and wipe the board. But we do not. We do get to take out this Advocate, though. I think maybe we should just do that right now. Opponent could draw Dramoka's Command, and that'd be pretty annoying. Then I wouldn't be able to wipe the board with Chandra without losing my Chandra. So Wooded Foothills also does not fetch blue mana. So still can't lumber on in. This is just main phase Secure? Oh, because they want to go up, or they want to go down on Nissa. Well, I'm still going to stroke this, because I might brick on lands for Chandra, and then I might be just too low to deal with anything, so... I may have just made another plant there. Okay, that's pretty nice. It's not the land for Chandra, but it's still pretty good. Get to take out the Nissa, and then they'll Reflector Mage the Mantis Rider, but that's not a big deal. Again, if we draw a land, we can just play Chandra, and that'd be great. And our opponent draws another land, but it's not a blue mana for Lumbering Falls, so that's also good. Because we want to play the Chandra and have it not die just to a Lumbering Falls attack. So they're slowly whittling down my Jace. Draw Crackling Doom, which is fine. If they draw blue mana, that's actually kind of cool. I think... If they draw blue mana and activate the Lumbering Falls, that's actually good for me. Now I kind of have to make a decision as to whether or not I actually... If they don't draw blue mana, do I Crackling Doom away this Reflector Mage? I don't think I want to. So therefore I should just tick up on the Mage and let them get their plants after my Jace. Best case scenario is they draw blue mana this turn and send in the Lumbering Falls. Well, still no 6th land for Chandra forthcoming. Things are kind of getting a little awkward. I think we should just play Kalitas instead of Mantis Rider. And then this will, like this or Mantis Rider will both brickwall my opponent's attacks if they don't have anything. And then if I do draw 6 land for Chandra, I also get a zombie off the Reflector Mage. Whereas if I play Mantis Rider, I'm getting in some damage. But if I want to kill the Reflector Mage, I have to also get rid of my Mantis Rider, which is not great. So, what is this? Wingmate Rock. That's quite good. Oh, Crackling Doom. Well, things are getting worse and worse. We can tick up on the bird, crackle away the wingmate rock, and get a zombie. And then I think it's worth attacking. Maybe not. So if I keep Kalidas back, their attacks on the ground are pretty bad, and then they have a 1/4 flyer in the air, so then I can keep Jace alive for another turn. If I attack with Kalidas, they can attack with Bird, Reflector Mage to kill Jace. I could chump Reflector Mage and keep Jace alive for a turn. If they send all the plants, if they send everything at Jace, then I can eat a plant with the zombie and lose Jace. I don't think losing Jace is really that big of a deal. So I'll gain my 3 life for sure. Opponent can pretty safely just block with the 1/4 bird. I don't think they really care about losing into a Fiery Impulse or whatever. Oh, they just took it. Okay. I'm also fine with that. That's cool. That is fine with me. Take your damage. Be easier for my Mantis Rider to kill you. So these types of decks are kind of tough because the spot removal is not all that good. And they have a lot of card advantage stuff, but it certainly makes the Chandra Mantis Rider plan better. It's much easier to actually kill them with that stuff than to try and kill all of their creatures and then kill them. So we lose Jace, but get to eat a plant. Another Wingmate Rock? Ew, that's tough. That is tough. Fiery Impulse, you're kind of the pits. So now we have Crackling Doom, but we can't... I guess they had 2 birds, so either way they'd be able to sack a bird token. Get him, Cletus. Get him. So yeah, Mantis Rider's kind of brick-walled. Chandra basically has to sweep the board in order to do anything. Oh yeah, this double block was not very well thought out on my part. For whatever reason, I thought that these wouldn't be able to kill this. Trading with the Wingmate Rock is still fine, I think. So I'm going to sack a zombie. Would I rather kill a bird or a Reflector Mage? Probably a bird. I don't know. If I kill the mage, then I get another zombie. So I'll end up with 2 zombies against 2 birds and a plant. Yeah, I don't know. This attack, like, seems kind of bad because I'm losing my Cletus, but I'm actually killing the Wingmate Rock, and they're sort of low, so I sort of like that plan, too. I guess if I kill the other bird, then I can Crackling Doom away the other bird and then play Chandra and maybe kill them with that. But the Lumbering Falls is still there if they draw a blue source. So I'm just going to Impulse away the bird. So now we have 27 life, which is a lot. Ooh, Oath of Nissa, that could be anything. Hopefully not a blue source or a good threat. Another Lumbering Falls, that kind of does it. Alright, back down to 22. Alright, and there's our land. And we can't Delta for the second white source, because we don't have it. We need that to be a flooded strand. And then we can play Rider and Crackling Doom. I'm not sure Chandra really does anything. So I think we want Mantis Rider. Cool. Opponent's at 6. I like it. Yeah, given how this game is playing out, I like trading Cletus for Wingmate Rock. Does look like Disdainful Stroke is kind of good against this deck. Obviously, they have like some scary 2s and 3s, but they also have Secure and Wingmate, so definitely have some targets. Presumably, they have Gideon as well. Postboard might be kind of tough because they're going to have like Dispel and Stroke of their own. But we do have Duress, which is basically just awesome against their entire deck. What is this? Quarantine Field. Wow. That card is nice. And maybe they'll attack with everything and just die to Chandra. Hopefully that's their plan. They keep a plant back, that's genius, but yeah, okay. Now we draw Painful Truths. Hiya! Alright, so I think our opponent could have played a little more conservatively there. Obviously, I'm fine the way things turned out. Negate is quite good. This is another matchup where Negate is excellent. So, Crackling Doom is fine, but not great, because they don't really have any giant thing that I want to kill with it, but it does help against things like Gideon. It helps Mantis Rider actually just finish it off. I do like Negate and Transgress and Duress. Maybe Stroke is not really what I'm looking for. I would really like to counter a Wingmate Rock. I think it's pretty reasonable to have the board be clear and stick an Obnixilis. So I think that's going to stay in. How many Fire Impulses do I want? I don't know. Maybe Radiant Flames is just better than Fiery Impulse, but I do want some stuff to actually kill Sylvan Advocate. So 2 Doom, 2 Impulse. Soulfire is reasonable just as like a Grizzly Bear that pressures Planeswalkers a little bit. I guess Murderous Cut's not great either. Does kill a Wingmate Rock bird. Yeah, I think I'm just going to end up going pretty low on removal. Just rely on counterspells, discard, and sweepers to kind of clean stuff up. And then we need to cut one more. Could be a Soulfire because now we don't really have anything to buy back. It's possible the other Stroke should just be in the deck too. So what am I scared of? Wingmate Rock, Gideon, Secure the Wastes. They're going to have their own Dispels. I guess Kalidas is not great because I'm pretty low on removal too. But I have like Flames, Obnixilis, Chandra, Impulse that can kill stuff. So yeah, we'll try this. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, sounds pretty tight. A little awkward. No real clean way to get white mana. Yep, and there's our white 2-drop. So I want to Transgress on 2 and Truths on 3. Maybe not, though. Because then I would have to discard a card. I think it's safe to just lead Smoldering Marsh. See what happens. No Advocate. Yes. Ooh, and we drew a white mana. So we're going to fetch Plains and Transgress. Try and snipe their Nissa, hopefully. Mono, Reflector Mages, Den Protector, Silk Wrap. Alright, so creatures are just kind of off the table at this point. Don't really want to give them a reason to put a Reflector Mage into play, and they're not really doing anything in the meantime. Reflector Mage is definitely good against this deck, but there are spots like this where it's just like, I'm playing the control game. I'm not necessarily going to lead on creatures. But there's an Advocate. If I play Painful Truce, I'm going to have to discard, so this might be a turn where I play a creature, they play a mage, and I flames away 2 things. On turn 4 and then turn 5, hopefully I can Painful Truce and play another spell. So I probably want to go Delta for Island, Mire for blue-black. Excuse me. So they're short on land, so not cracking their Strand. Drew an Oath of Nissa. I guess they're hoping that hits their 4th mana. Got a Forest. Ain't bad. And they're just going to Silk Wrap the Jace. Okay, I'm fine with that too. Now I don't have to Radiant Flames. I can just Painful Truce this turn. Was hoping to draw land. Brick pretty hard. Drew more creatures that I didn't really want in this world of Reflector Mages. And more Painful Truce, which I may or may not have time to cast. So, okay, I probably should not have fetched there. Their hand... Oh, no, because they played the Den Protector. So maybe I want to Duress here. I know they have 2 Reflector Mages. So this Duress might whiff. Nope, Quarantine Field. Nice. Alright, kill your stuff. Is it time to start running out Reflector Mages with me at 10 life? Smelling blood in the water? Okay, so they drew a Lance. I know their last card. I could Painful Truce and try and find land. Or I could play Jace and Soulfire, and then they don't have a great option for what they want to bounce with their Reflector Mage. It's probably going to be Jace, and then I have Soulfire against a 2/3, so maybe that's not great. So it's possible I should just cast this Painful Truths. Red, black, no, because I want to play Jace. I can also just not play Jace and hold Negate now. I also don't have a second red. It's kind of tricky. So yeah, I'm going to hold Negate instead of playing Jace. They may or may not play Reflector Mage anyway. Yep, still don't have red. And, okay, I do have lands to fetch with my Strand. So, yeah, if I only had 1 land left in my deck to fetch with Strand, I should have fetched, even though I didn't want to, like, thin my deck of land, but I certainly don't want to draw the land I could have fetched with Strand. So. But it's okay, I have blue-black and blue-white left in my deck. I guess this is super awkward, because if I play Jace and... No, it's fine. Oh no, I used my white. That's fine. Then I just have to fetch. Okay. I'm kind of tilting off. I should not do that. Alright, I have blue-black left in my deck to fetch. I was thinking that if they Reflector Mage my Jace and my Soulfire, then I wouldn't have stuff to play next turn unless I drew a red mana, but they also don't have 2 Reflector Mages or 6 land. So, I'm not sure why I thought that, but I'm just kind of going crazy. Possible I should have just played the other Soulfire also, instead of holding Negate, or maybe just played 2 Soulfires, I don't know. I think this is better. I think playing Soulfire Jace, they bounce my Jace, and then next turn I can play the other Soulfire and I can double block a Reflector Mage and not die. That seems like a better plan. You're just bouncing the Soulfire, okay. So putting me to 2, putting me to 1, and then I can flashback Radiant Flames, assuming this Jace doesn't die. But if they have like a Silk Wrap or Dromoka's Command, I can just negate it. Yeah. I will counter that, good sir. Perhaps should have tried that first, because then maybe you'd want to Reflector Mage the Jace. Now I might actually just be able to stabilize it 1 life. I could also play Soulfire first. Okay, so we found the mountain, that's cool. Maybe I should play Soulfire first and actually just gain life. That's probably a better plan. Oh, I can't play it because of the thing. God, I'm stupid. Whatever. Still Flamesing. Can't play Soulfire, oh well. Some other time, perhaps. We'll play another Jace, though, just in case. Not like we have all that great of stuff to flashback, but, you know. If I was going to flashback anything, it would be a Transgress, so. I guess I'm supposed to Transgress. I feel like this is a secure, but... So I want to potentially play both Soulfires or loot, try and find an untapped land and play Chandra if they respond to this with a secure. I guess they don't even have to respond. Oh, they have a Stroke and a Heath. Okay. Alright. Little dorks. Next turn, I'll -3 this Jace on Duress, clear out the Stroke, and play Chandra and attack for a bunch. And now we know the card they drew. So we're basically money at this point. Money in the bank. So what can we lose to? Obviously, Lumbering Falls attacking us is not ideal, but we'll be at 5 life, so they can't kill us with like a Dromoka's Command. And Dromoka's Command on Lumbering Falls won't kill any of our Planeswalkers, so I think we're safe to just jam with everyone. I think that's probably going to do it. Probably would have been a little bit more patient on my Den Protector. I get that my opponent wanted to put pressure on me and whatnot. Well, that'll do it. That's round 1.